Thanks for staying with us now. According to a Biz community publication, despite Africa's impressive growth in the past 25 years, its entry into digital economy, the job market continues to be in a depressed state as youth unemployment continues to rise. Now, Africa has the largest population of young people in the world, some 200 million aged between 15 and 24, accounting for 60% of all of Africa's jobless. Now, this is alarming to say the least because youth employment could drive economic growth in Africa if we invest in them. And the question is, what steps can we take to address Africa's needs, a way out of poverty, and entrepreneurship may be the key. It has a potential to create millions of jobs in Africa, and youth entrepreneurs may bring about the positive change we urgently need. And although more and more youth are looking into entrepreneurship, there are many challenges facing the sector, like the lack of access to information, finance, networking, and mentoring, and just to mention a few. So what are some of the challenges you think young entrepreneurs are facing in Africa? Let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-4663. You can also tweet at us at Wayshow Africa1 with the hashtag Wayshow. So I'll bring in Sandra in a minute, but I just wanted to hear your thoughts, Uti and Manny. Manny, we've removed you from the bracket of young entrepreneurs. Though.
Are you joking?
You're now,
are you joking?
You're now a grandma entrepreneur.
Okay, well, yeah.
At 12 years,
say
come
12
on.
years is not,
it's not a joke.
Thing. Yeah, it's not a joke. So these young entrepreneurs, they face a lot in this market, ranging from lack of capital, startup capital, because who's going to invest in a small company? You have a vision, doesn't mean that it's going to, end up well. Some people don't know how to take things from vision stage to execution, success phase. So people have issues trying to, invest in all this. And we do not have enough venture capital companies in Nigeria. So you have a lot abroad. But here, how many venture capital companies do we have? Yes, then we have issues with enabling environment and government policies. So you do one thing, like now, look at what's going on with Okada. They've crushed a lot of people's monies. You understand? Today they say it's okay to do this. Tomorrow a policy comes out that overtakes that and makes it very difficult.
Policies.
Yes, so it makes it very difficult. Then we have their age barriers, So these people, like our president said some years ago, said they're lazy youths. So when we look at them now, we think, why should I invest in this? Because their ways are different from our ways. Like you said, and
their thoughts.
Their thoughts are not our thoughts. So you don't even understand them. Sometimes there's this loss of communication, or things are lost in translation because of the age barrier, stereotypes. Then for me, the main one is, I think that most of them go into these businesses with the wrong, would I say, notion? They are wrong
expectations.
Wrong expectation. They go in for the wrong reasons. They'll tell you they want to be their own bosses. They're tired of working under somebody. They want to close early. They want to go home early. Or they want to take pictures and post on social media and put boss chick. or boss. So there are a lot of things that they would definitely encounter that will make businesses very difficult for them.
Well, okay, let me hear your thoughts, Uti, quickly.
Manny has said it all.
Really?
I mean, it's an interesting time to try. When you were introducing the topic, it said entrepreneurship may be the way. It really is the way. We just have too many people. The government can't do it all.
True.
Entrepreneurs, really, that SME space, given the type of population and the makeup of our population, it really is the answer for, getting our economy to thrive. And for me, I think about the industries that have really embraced that, and we see the growth in the fashion industry, we see the growth in the food industry, we see the growth in the tech space. I mean, it seems like every day you blink now, there's a new fintech, there's a new company coming up, so there's really a lot that can be done when we harness I don't know if I should call it the energy of youth or the optimism of youth, even though they say Nigeria crushes dreams, but it really is important for us to understand how important entrepreneurship is, and that whole element of job creation, of wealth creation. The more we can get young people in that space, the better. But I think Manny did a fantastic job in articulating the challenges. I remember I think it was one of my first shows, and our guest said doing business in Nigeria is an extreme sport.
Yeah.
It's a very, very extreme
I
sport.
believe that.
Absolutely.
You're here today, gone tomorrow, and we're not even talking about making it to the first 5 years. Nigeria can literally wipe you out overnight. So, yeah, I think it's, if the youth that are doing it today, kudos to them, man.
Absolutely. Let me bring somebody that Nigeria has not wiped out overnight. So Sandra Chukwudozie is the CEO and the founder of Salfa Energy, a Nigerian-based leading technology-enabled renewable energy company that provides standalone solar home systems to homes and businesses in off-grid areas in Africa. In 2017, Sandra launched a range of entry-level solar home systems to make solar affordable and inclusive to those at the bottom of the pyramid. Now, the company has introduced larger solar home systems to help Africans leverage solar for productive and income-generating use. In 2022, Sandra was featured in Forbes 30 Under 30 in the energy category, and we're really honored to host her again, because it's her second time on Ways, tonight on the show. Thank you so much, and congratulations. You know, it's one thing for you to do a business, it's another thing for the world to recognize that this is someone doing something great, you know. Your vision is, I mean, I like what Manny was saying, that yes, it's one thing for you to have a vision. Execution is a whole ball game entirely.
Absolutely.
So for you to be in that position where your business continues to take center stage, where people recognize your business and investors are willing to put their money in your business, which is how far what you have also leveraged on over the years. It tells me something that you're doing right, and you know, and being under 30 again, come on, what a way to live. But tell me first of all, how does it feel, you know, to be on the Forbes list? Let's start from there. Then before we now break it into the challenges.
I'm still taking this in. I mean, this was just last week Friday that it was announced, so I'm still taking it in. But honestly, it's an honor and it's a big win, not just for me, but for my team. You know, the alphas that I call them, who are my team members, who are the ones on the ground, who are making things move, and also my investors as well, those who actually put in money into Salfa Energy. It just feels so overwhelming to know that an African company, Nigerian-owned company, can reach this milestone. So I just feel really grateful and excited for the future.
I'm loving you already. You know how CEOs speak? But I'm telling you, so there's something that makes every person stand out when it comes to businesses, right? And entrepreneurs, as an entrepreneur, if you have it, you have it. If you don't have it, you don't have it. You know, it will be a struggle for you to be able to sustain that business, right? So tell me, first of all, you know, you have run this business for how many years now?
5 years
5 years now, right? You're young, right? There are always, you know, challenges, right? But you have been able to, you know, even with the challenges, you've been able to rise above those challenges and still push your business to where it is today, you know, and it's still growing. First of all, explain those challenges, you know, as a young woman, because you're young, you're a woman, and you are, would I call it a predominantly male-dominated field, right? Because the energy business, not many women delve into energy business in this country. A lot of men do the business, but women don't, you know. So maybe you should break down what the challenges have been for you as a business, as a young person, as an entrepreneur, you know, again, in Nigeria. That's a double whammy.
So I think what she said actually resonated with me so strongly. The biggest challenges that I faced was, number one, raising finance, and number two, growing my team. And I really want to touch on raising finance because that's an important area where companies can be made or broken. And for me, right, in 2017, I had an idea for a business and I struggled to raise financing, and I had to literally bootstrap my business. I raised some small funding from family, and then I started, you know, bootstrapping this business. I started in Alaba and Idumota. We would distribute products to wholesalers that were there. But then it was just something that wasn't really supported because it's renewable energy, it's solar. So it's that whole thing of, we're not sure of this business that you're trying to push, therefore we won't invest in you. And what it meant for me, like other entrepreneurs, is the fact that you aren't able to put down proper procedures and processes. So you end up as a CEO being a one-man business. You are the HR, you are the accountant, you are the operations person, and that was what we were doing for a long period of time. And even when it came to having a proper business process and even tax reporting, it was a struggle because all the time that you can use to grow the company, you're using it to in other areas of the business. So for me, right, that was one challenge. The second one was the team. How do you, first of all, assemble a team and get them to buy into a vision? Because it's one thing for you as a founder to know what exactly you want to do, but how do you aggregate different genders, different age groups, different tribes, and unite them under one mission? And the beauty of Salfa, my company, is the fact that our culture is about we. It's actually focused on Umoja. Umoja means unity, we stand. And that is something that I tried so hard to ingrain in my team. And I feel that with that early adoption of unity, working as a team, and just, breaking through with the barriers we had with financing, it actually helped us on the way to really grow that business. But it wasn't easy at all. Lots of trials, but I'm just grateful that we're here now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So interesting that you guys talked about culture last week Friday. Well,
Yeah.
I'll come to you.
Yeah.
When she just said culture, you see,
Yeah.
it's something that if you get it, you understand
Yeah.
it. Culture,
Yeah.
there has to be a culture that, the company is known for. Go ahead,
It's
Oti.
the foundation of everything.
Yeah.
So interesting, the energy space. When you were talking about challenges, the first thing that came to mind when I saw your profile was we're diesel, we're a generator, we're used to generating our own power, but we're used to doing it in a certain way.
Absolutely.
So what challenges have you faced on that side of things? You touched on it lightly about even access to market and people not supporting that. I know that we've come a long way. It seems like today there's solar panels everywhere, but interesting to know what kind of challenges you faced in that space.
So interesting story, right? I grew up in an oil and gas family conglomerate, and the goal for me was, study, get some experience, and then come work in the family business. And I love that idea so much. And something interesting happened to me. After my master's degree in oil and gas management, I was fortunate to work at the United Nations in New York in 2015. And that was when the SDG goals were being launched. There was about, access to clean energy. So many goals were launched, about 17 of them. And what really struck me was the fact that energy was no more about oil and gas, fossil fuel. It was now about clean, affordable, sustainable energy. But it was also the consciousness, leaving no one behind, starting with the furthest behind first, giving them access. And I think for me as a young person, I really struggled to find meaning in what I did. Yes, it's a family legacy. You want to honor the family by doing that. But deep down, I really wanted something that would call me for a higher purpose. And so when I heard that, when I was exposed to the UN and that vision and that mission they had, it lit a fire in me. And then after some time, I resigned that job and I came back to Nigeria, and I was burning with this fire to, diversify my family conglomerate and, go into solar energy. And just like you said, we're used to oil, gas, diesel. I was met with resistance, right? Because the challenge is, this wasn't what we signed up for. We signed up for...
You used to go and study petrochemical engineering.
So what are you doing? And so that's why my road to solar was tough, because this is someone, people will see me and they were telling me, why are you struggling with solar kits and solar home systems? Your parents, what are you doing? And for years I always struggled with, am I doing the right thing? But just something in my heart just said to me that, this is, if you don't stand up for yourself, if you don't stand for something, you fall for everything. And so I just had to make a way, and my team are really fantastic. They've been so supportive. They're just young Nigerians who are energized, who really want to make a change, and that's what we're doing. We're just trying to make it work in this country, trying to fight, that's generational mindset that energy is oil and gas, that solar energy is not here to stay. Solar is here to stay, and guess what? Climate change is real, and that's what we're really fighting. That's why we're here.
Absolutely. All right, so let's quickly go in and out. I want to drink some water. Thanks for staying with us. Now, if you just tuned in, we're having an amazing chat discussing challenges young entrepreneurs face in Africa, and we have our guest, Sandra Chukwudozie. All right, please let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. You can also tweet at us at WaysHowAfrica1 with the hashtag WaysShow. I was gonna mix Sonia Safa all these in one name, but I mean, you have an interesting story. But Mani, you had a question?
Yes, so how do you deal with competition and finding clients? Because people tend to stick with
money for the money, straight up.
Straight up. Let's go there. So people tend to stick with well-known brands, brand names. So how do you navigate in that?
So to be able to, first of all, in our space, it's actually a blue ocean, meaning that there's so much, demand for this product and they haven't been addressed yet. And so with what we do, we find our own niche. You understand? Because the energy market is segmented into different tiers. You have those who don't even have access to lighting and phone charging. And you have those who, like this building, need access to powering devices and appliances and whatnot. So we focus on the furthest behind who lack access to energy. And what that has done is that it's given us like a differentiation. Do you get where I'm coming from? So we are not cannibalized by other competitors.
Literally, you don't have competitors.
We do, but because the market is so big, we are collaborators because whatever impact you make in a state or a region, it's a ripple effect. So far, so good. That is what the market is like.
Okay, so let me ask a follow-up question.
Okay, please do.
Yes, you concentrate on the lowest in the market, right?
And we scale them up.
Okay, good. So the money that you get from there, is it enough to keep your business running?
Oh, absolutely. If we look at, those who are energy poor, I mean, 80 million Nigerians are energy poor, and the bulk of them live on less than $1 a day. You understand? So when you provide them solutions that are affordable for them, you unlock a big market, and that's what we've done, because you want to sell these products not only to customers, but you want to sell to distributors like those in Idumota, Alaba, Sabongeri, who can actually buy these products and make money off it by retailing, and then sales agents as well, installers. Exactly. So you want to be able to generate income for these different types of people, the sales agents, the distributors, the payment platforms, and through that means, you're making profits, you're generating income, and you're growing and scaling up.
Okay. I was going to ask. Okay, I was going to ask that. When you look at young entrepreneurs today, right, what do you think are the most common mistakes that you see happen to them, with businesses? I mean, when I read the quotes today that talked about naivety being a blessing, it's like, because you're naive, you think that everything is possible. That in itself can also be, right? So what do you think are the common mistakes that young people make when it comes to making business decisions and starting off as an entrepreneur?
Okay, so there's so many things, but I'll stick to two. So the first one is that people don't believe in themselves. And it's not because they don't want to, it's because sometimes they don't have people around them who can light the flame in their hearts. When you're around people who are limited by their own self-beliefs and they project that to you, your zeal for entrepreneurship to dare and to be audacious is dampened. The second is having a team. I can't stress enough how powerful a team is. One of my friends says 1 + 1 is 11. And I always believe in the power of we. The power of we is far stronger than the power of I, because with we, you can accomplish things that one person cannot. And that's the mistake people make. They have a team quite all right? But the issue is that there's this thing called ego, where you feel that you are the boss, you feel that you're the one that should know it, or you have this superiority complex. How are you able to, and guess what, your employees have that too, but how are you able to step aside that ego and know that you're on a journey to create something? Every company that you found, or any business that you have, is about the soul of that founder. What is your soul like? Before you're able to create that company, it's the soul, it is who you are, and it actually emanates to the company that you build. And for me growing up, I just wanted to have a team, people who I could, achieve something with and grow a company with. That was just my dream, to just have a happy place where we could all just be, in my childish mind, inventors in a lab creating something. That was a dream that I had. And for me, it was about giving back to people, just loving people around you. And it's not just about you, it's about the people that are with you. So once more, people and believing in yourself. These two key things are important.
So I like that you talked about people. So
But when the people start to leave,
I'm glad that you answered the question, and you had talked about the team before.
Yeah.
And when Manny was giving her first talk, she talked about generations. One of the things we talk about on this show a lot is Gen Z.
Yeah.
We are one of them. So, you know, when we cross-generational people try to manage Gen Zs, we lose hair or we go grey hair. So, in this team that you speak of, are they
Like you?
no, wait.
Yeah.
Are they within your generation? And if you do, what challenges do you face in managing a team? Because, you know, for me, I feel like I speak a different lingo from my team. So there's a bit of a hurdle there. But what is it like from that side? Do you face challenges? I know you've talked about the team being wonderful and all of that, but what do you face trying to manage that team? Are they the same generation as you and then manage?
and you know, there's sorry, just to add to what she's saying, what Manny has said earlier, this your generation, everybody wants to be boss chick.
Yeah.
Hashtag boss chick. So,
And that's true.
how you
Living
gonna
my best life.
Yeah.
Manny has been scarred.
Same. Same.
Oh, same.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us.
Yes. So for me, right, I have like it's a mixed generation. We have the boomers, millennials, Gen Z. So it's a mix, right? And earlier in my youth, I used to advocate for young people because I always felt like we were marginalized and we had to have our own seat at the table or make our own table. But as I get older, I realize the value of an intergenerational pool. Honestly. So, honestly, because it's good to have that mix because the young people have the zeal to really push and deliver, but the older heads have the wisdom. So when you combine it, somebody is thinking, somebody is running,
Now you're talking.
you have a team. But I have had my own fair share of Gen Z that I... Story for another day.
Another day.
Well, you know what you find Gen Zs are actually very important for any organization because they challenge status quo. For them, it's more like this culture doesn't suit me. On to the next. So you begin to ask yourself, how can I adapt for the future? How can I begin?
Refresh
Exactly.
And,
yeah.
Stay relevant.
Honestly.
Absolutely.
Very important.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk. Go ahead.
Okay, what I would like to ask you, there's this thing they call social rejection. Because you're so busy, when you started talking, you talked about the challenges that entrepreneurs face, especially in the beginning of the business.
Yeah.
Your HR, your lawyer, I'm sure you even started drafting
I'm
documents,
telling you.
your everything.
Yeah.
How did you manage with your social life? Because this is one of the challenges that these people face. They want to go to a party and they want to still do their business and make money. So how do you do that?
I think, I don't know, I'm a nerd. So
So it doesn't affect you anyway.
So for me, right, I'm really like laser focused on any project or, thing that I have to do. But I would say that you have to make a choice, right? What do you really want to achieve? And I'm not saying that you can't have a social life, but I'm saying that something has to give. You understand? In the earlier years, I was doing so much that I wasn't always out there, bubbly social. But I think now, when you're able to have a team that can take up the load from you, you're able to just be more present. Before I wasn't speaking publicly. I was just, refining the product, talking to customers, just, doing the in-house work. But what I would say is just having a good team that can really execute, that just lifts the load off you as a founder. And I think with that, you're able to just express yourself more publicly. Now I'm really out there pushing my brand and,
So we are going to invite you again. But we invited you for a party. You didn't come.
Hey,
so I can see why now. But I was going to ask, so how are you helping mentor younger people? Because there are young girls now that are going into the energy sector. I'm really proud of a lot of young people, coming into that sector. So how are you positioning yourself, to stand in, to be that, okay, I have been through this and I don't want you to go through that stress. Let me cut short your wahala that you're going to face and all of that. Is there something that Sulfur Energy is doing, as a mentorship program for younger people coming into the energy space?
So the biggest thing that we're doing is coming back to our team. Our team has an initiative called Alphas on the Move. And what we're trying to do is to bring in people into the energy sector and really begin to not only help them grow their talents or their skills, we want to disrupt their thinking. we want to create leaders of tomorrow. And how do we do that? We do that by ensuring that whoever comes into our team is able to scale up into a leadership position. And we do that by exposing them to critical business areas. If you work in a corporate company, you sometimes are stuck at a particular cadre of the organogram, right? But what we try to do is that we have a flat structure where we push people to begin to assume these leadership positions. And with that, we found a lot of people who have gone from roles like sales officers to sales managers to regional managers to national managers. So we do that as a company. When it comes to initiatives outside of our employees, it's something that we are refining. And we look at that through the lens of how do we begin to look at, for example, the engineers who install our products. How can we bring in male and female to begin to understand how these products are installed, how they're being repaired, how they're being, assembled and disassembled, to ensure that we're actually localizing talent in Nigeria. And for me as a leader, it's important that now that, like I said earlier, I'm able to have more free time to really be public facing. I've been privileged to have a lot of people reach me on LinkedIn and they say, oh wow, like I really want you to mentor me. And it's something that I myself am beginning to collate this kind of people and, prepare something that actually helps them, inspires them to just be better and just stay focused, be motivated, and just know that they can actually achieve what they set their mind to achieve.
Awesome.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. I love the passion with which you talk about your motivation, right?
Yeah.
Your motivation wasn't money. Your motivation was to solve the need
Yes.
and realizing. So I can imagine that pivotal experience for you when the SDG goals were being launched.
Oh, yes.
And, how you could connect with that, and it really has shaped your life. Manny talked about something that I think was very key. Our young people want to hammer. They want to glow.
Quickly.
And a lot of the time, I find that the push to go into entrepreneurship is driven by that,
Yeah.
right? I believe, like you, that the most successful businesses are the businesses that are solving real problems for people.
Yeah.
If you are there to serve, the money will follow.
Yeah.
So, do you feel like young people? Do you agree that young people today, the driver is money, and do you feel that that's a challenge for them in being able to attain the kind of success that you have, and maybe even more?
So let's be frank, right? I don't know if you're familiar with the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Money is the basic. Without money, you can't achieve most of your goals. So I think for anybody who hasn't gotten a certain level of material success, money is something, right? However, what you're talking about is being patient. Can you be patient to grow an idea, to scale the idea without wanting the now, to blow or hammer right now? And so for me, right, it's a big challenge that I feel that, yes, a young person should want to aspire to grow wealth. And even if you don't do it through entrepreneurship, how can a startup, a company begin to create wealth for its employees? We see lots of companies, myself included, beginning to think about ideas to, bring in people who are in the company who have actually stayed a number of years, to begin to have equity in that business, to begin to have a way to have their own sort of income, that it's not just about a salary, but growing their wealth. And that's something we take very seriously as well in our company. How do we ensure that people are joining in year 1 and in year 5, they can comfortably say that they can not only earn an income, but they can take their children to school, they can have a home, the basics that make anybody.
Yes.
So you're incentivizing the work, right?
Are we incentivizing? We're giving them what they deserve. Yeah, we're giving them what they deserve. Everybody, if we compare America, we compare Europe, that's what they have. They have mortgages, they take out a house, they buy a car. Why can't our companies do that for our young people? And that's part of what Salpa is doing.
Because even when you come out of the military, then, I don't know if they still do it now, they immediately give you a Peugeot car.
In Nigeria?
Yeah,
these are the basics that stabilizes a person.
That stabilizes you as a person.
You're asking if
so
they
you're
still
focused.
do it.
I don't know. I'm asking. I don't know. But it's the military now. I don't know. That's what it is. I'm asking this. Man, don't be sarcastic. I was going to say, let's come back to Forbes, because we have like barely 2 minutes to go.
Okay.
So are you under a lot of pressure now to like outperform? Because Forbes comes with pressure. There's a prayer to mayor. There's a pressure that comes with, when you start to get to those levels of recognition. So how are you managing that? And, Is it putting you under any form of tension to, like
To do more.
outperform, do better, and all of that?
Oh, I love pressure. Pressure is good because pressure is what takes you from point A to B. How do you make diamonds? They go through fire. That's what we want. We want to be a global company. So we need all pressure. We need to be able to challenge ourselves to dream bigger. Before Forbes came, right, it was, we were dreaming really big, but Forbes made us just, the ceiling just broke. It's like we can actually be anything we want to be. Wow. So the energy is just like really fiery. It's like, let's shoot for the stars, let's hire more people, let's begin to bring in more products. So that's what we are. We're excited. Pressure us, we want that.
So you're an egg. You get harder with pressure. Yes. So let me one final thing from me. If you were to speak to the government now, we know that airplanes, they need a runway to run before they take off. So if the government could help young entrepreneurs right now, what would you say? What's the first thing you would ask for?
The government?
Yes, the government.
We have policies. I would want those policies to be implemented. We have a lot of policies that help the ease of doing business. How are we implementing those policies so that young people can take advantage of it? We have a brain drain in this country. Our talents are leaving for Canada, Europe, America. What are we doing to solve those issues? How can we ensure that, for example, the ease of doing business in Nigeria, that we're actually elevating this country? And it's to the point, it's just, implementing our policies and putting the right things in the right place. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Enabling environment.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So it's been fantastic speaking to you.
Thank you.
My ladies, I hope you had fun like I did.
Yes.
Because it just transferred the energy to me. Well, I hope you come back again. We'll keep on celebrating you. Don't worry. It's our duty to keep on pushing all the brands, all the young people, women, in fact, that are doing exceptionally well.
Especially
it's our
women.
honor to continue to project, the great work you're doing, and we know that it's going to get bigger and better from here. All right, thank you so much, Manny. Thank you, Uti. Thank you so much again, Sandra.
You.
Now, before we go, do ensure you follow us on Instagrams at PlusTvAfrica. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and more importantly, follow all our engagements on social media. Like, share, and invite your families and friends to watch and follow the conversation. Now, if you missed today's quote, I like this quote very much. It just helps me think of possibilities everywhere. I think I was very naive early on, but that also meant I didn't know what couldn't be done. You need to think possibility. And she said it, first of all, it's your mindset, right? We'll see you guys live on Monday as we bring another great conversation to your screen. Enjoy.